Welcome back. Now today we'll be focusing on the substitutes. Actually yesterday, if you did not catch up with us, what we were discussing are the foods that cause hazard to our health. And we identified some of those, and we'll still be going through a bit of that with Kate Kibara. And today we'll also be focusing more on the substitutes. What are the alternatives? For you who loves chocolate and you're wondering, what else can I do, yet I have a sweet tooth? Kate Kibara is here and she'll be helping us go through that. So karibu sana, remember your health is in your hands. Kate Kibara, karibu sana.
Thank you very much.
Amazing. Let me tell you, yesterday's session got me really thinking. I saw mandazi. I was very hungry, but I couldn't eat it after you told me, you took us through what you took us through.
I know at the beginning it comes out as a shock to most of us because that's the kind of food we're used to. And the downside is we don't have an alternative. Like for you, you saw the mandazi, you wanted to have it, but you're asking yourself, okay, so what can I replace this mandazi with?
Right.
So I think the best thing is to, if you're trying to eat healthy, if you're trying to change your lifestyle into a healthier one, if you do not have options, you end up falling back and doing the old stuff. You
Right.
continue eating the unhealthy foods.
Right.
So we'll be discussing on what alternatives are there, and we have
there.
so much. In fact, we cannot even exhaust what is available.
Wow.
And the alternative means that even if you have, like the mandazi you saw yesterday, you actually took it yesterday, for example, and then it will take you another long period, maybe another 2 weeks or 3 weeks, because you have different varieties of foods that you can replace. And you find with time, our taste buds adjust.
Oh, okay.
Within a week, within 3 days, your taste buds adjust. And then you start craving or you start liking the foods that you have introduced. And I would give an example, like for a child, a baby. Let's us before you introduce sugar or salt to the baby's food, the baby does not know that it tasted like this.
Yes.
But when you introduce sugar or salt, that new taste, the baby now cries for the food. It was either porridge that had sugar or food that had been added salt. So your taste buds adjust as quickly as this. So it will be easy. And once you associate that with your mind, you're eating healthy for yourself, you're eating healthy for the future. It's not like I said yesterday, healthy living is not the side effects of unhealthy food. There's the long term and there's the short term. We always focus on the long term, thinking, okay, by the time I fall sick, I'll be 50s, I'll have changed or 60s, 70s, I'll have changed my lifestyle. But your health, like I said yesterday, you're 80% responsible for your aging, for your health.
Yes.
And in fact, we are also told, research also says that by the time you're age 40, you only, after age 40, you control 20% of your aging process.
Wow, 20, just 20%.
Yes, and you find that's now when we, most people just wake up maybe after 40 and or 50s and start thinking, okay, now I've added weight.
Yeah.
So that's when it becomes very difficult trying to change when you're older. But the happy thing or the good thing is that our cells are rejuvenated and renewed every day.
Wow.
Within 28 days, research tells us that you have new skin. So
Really?
if you ate healthy for 28 days, take a picture before and after, you'll actually find your skin glowing. Maybe you had acne, it disappears. And not only the skin, if you ate healthy, for like your heart muscles are replaced by the time they're built up, and in 2 years you've already done a proper thing to your heart, and they're back again. And that's the thing about our systems, and that's the thing about our bodies. They're rejuvenated and renewed every single time if you provide the right ingredients, if you eat the antioxidants and healthy foods to help in building this. And this with time, of course, shows that it's never too late. You keep changing that health and you keep improving your health, and within a short period of time you start seeing changes, and changes that you might see, simple things like there's a time I talked to someone and she actually just changed to eating the green leafy veggies, which this person was not introducing in their diet. And they found that by eating these green leafy veggies, she used to have chicken skin. You know, there you have acne or some pimples on this
with a bit of bumps,
with a bit of bumps, and they just disappeared.
Wow.
And she had this for a long time. And this is, if you have like that chicken skin, for example, it is a sign of a lack of some minerals like magnesium. And you're not eating a food that is nutri-dense.
Yes.
So there are changes that you can see even in your energy levels, changes that you see in your in how you feel, your mood, how you support things. So I think changing from unhealthy food is quite important. But what we need, and that's what we are doing today, is to find out then what. So this is what we see, this is what we eat, so what else can we do?
All right, just, you know, taking a look at what we have here, for the sake of those that probably did not get to watch yesterday, just a summary of why it is that what we have on the table, including the smokies right there, the crisps, the biscuits right there, the noodles, why are they bad? In summary.
In summary, why do we have unhealthy food? It is because health is determined, or for you to have a healthy body, you have to give your body the basic nutrients that it requires. And these are things we know: vitamin A, B, E, your healthy proteins, your healthy carbohydrates. But you find a lot of the fast foods, a lot of processed foods that we have out there in the market contains none of this. They have been depleted of all the vitamins and minerals. There are no nutrients. In fact, what they contain most of the time is high salt, high sugar, and of course the chemicals, the preservatives and the additives that are added. And you find that these foods have been changed from the original state. It was a potato, it's now a crisps. It was meat from a cow, it's now a sausage. So that conversion from the natural source to a new source, it means you're reintroducing things, or you're even using things that are not natural. Instead, you're using synthetic, inorganic, chemical preservatives that with time, of course, will affect your health because you're not feeding your body. It's like having a glass house. You have a glass house, but you're throwing stones. You live inside and you're throwing stones. It doesn't make sense, and that's what we do to our health. So basically, that's what we were discussing, things that we take in the morning, like sausages, we are used to doing that, cookies that we snack on, or crisps that we like. Sometimes because of this busy lifestyle, we are taking instant foods. Or foods. I've even seen foods on the shelf that within 5 minutes, put in the microwave, and your nyama, whatever, is ready, it is set. And then apart from that, we also add additives and spices, just to add taste and to add color. We cook with the wrong cooking oil, and that's what we've been talking about. Also the beverages we take. We drink a lot of soft drinks. That's what we give our children to carry to school. And of course, with time, that's why we are losing our health. And this is something that is evident. This is something that we have seen not only in Kenya but in the world today. So it's a matter of just changing from the chemicals that have dangers, the preservatives that are not okay because they are carcinogens, and of course now introducing healthy aspects of the food.
Okay, so now the spices, we get to the spices. I was really surprised. I was trying to convince someone that these things are not good. So we went to the labels and they mentioned garlic is there, what do you call it, coriander, all these ginger and what have you as part of the package. The labels right there. How careful should we be with labels?
In fact, if you want to eat well, start with reading the labels. Because even yesterday, like the spices, like you said, you've talked to somebody and the person showed you, if the label reads it's real garlic, it could be powdered garlic, that's fine. If it's the real ingredient that is there, that's okay. What the problem is looking at a label and you're reading numbers or chemicals that you do not understand, added this, added that. But if it's the actual thing, even if it is ground, it is okay. Even if it is ground, it is okay. Yeah.
All right, okay. So now I want you to touch on this one because you mentioned, all of us know this. This is margarine. A lot of us are into this, and it's so hard to convince someone to come out of spreading their bread with margarine. You mentioned something yesterday that really surprised me. So just tell us what you said about this.
What I've said, you look at the solid oils or the oils hydrogenated fats. They're the ones that block your arteries. And most of the time we are told it's been said that some of the margarines and the hard lard oils that we use are almost plastic.
Wow.
In fact, they talk about if you the way you like cook food, or if you're frying something and you actually fry this at certain types of margarine, it does not melt. It takes forever and forever to melt, and and an oil requires to melt when at a high temperature. So you find so it's almost assumed that it's almost plastic, or people say it's almost plastic because of what the kind of processing and the extent of what has been added to this, so that it mimics maybe the natural butter, and for it to taste in a tasty way. So one of the ways of testing is just to melt, and some people say if you melt, it does not melt completely.
Okay.
Yes.
That is so interesting. And let's go to water. It's something that we need to be taking. It's something that obviously we take quite a lot. But there's a concern about some bottled water. How do you identify your water? Because it's part of what you're taking, you're ingesting into your system.
Exactly. In fact, there's a research that it keeps going on, the research about bottled water. And when they took samples from the market, not even here, even I think it's an international research, they found that the ingredients, the water that we have that is bottled is quite harmful, depending on what it contains. So what I usually say, for my own opinion, and that's what we should follow, you should start from yourself. You know, you're starting from, like I said yesterday, you're eating a tomato, you can see it's a tomato. You're eating garlic, you can see it's garlic. But then with time, if it is this water, then what is the healthiest option that you can do? Sometimes you have these filters,
yes, the filters,
the natural ones that you don't have to add anything. There's a filter that you put in the dirty water, and clean water comes out. People opt to boiling. Unfortunately, depending on what you're using to boil this water, could not be safe, but I think just you can filter your water or just boil the water that you have. It's easier than, and of course I think most of us don't buy the bottled waters, or even if we buy, we should be very careful on the source, or you go through what it has. And the thing about bottled water, when you open the water, it actually even has that, it's like, it's gassy.
Yes.
Meaning maybe that's how it is done, but for me, I do my own water, so I filter my own drinking water. Like I was saying earlier, and like I keep saying, health is up to you. You're the one to change and see what suits you, see what you can work with, and see what is easily available for you. But at the end of the day, regardless of drinking the water or taking these unhealthy things that I was talking about, if your diet is full, rich of nutrient-dense foods, then you're able to protect your body forever. Because you cannot avoid, even if we talked about eating healthy 100%, there are things that that are out of your way. The air we breathe has free radicals. You might go somewhere, drink something, go to a restaurant, eat something that was not healthily prepared, and you're not aware. So eating foods that are high in antioxidants and eating a healthy diet, exercising, you're stress-free is what actually helps in protecting. So you have, like the way I was talking yesterday, 80-20% rule, where 80% you are trying your level best to live healthy if you cannot make it to 100%. And once you do this, you are fully covered. That cell is fully protected. Because if there was any oxidation caused by anything that you are eating, if there was any unhealthy nutrients that you are getting from the system, these nutrients, the antioxidants, the phytochemicals in the food, the antioxidants are things like vitamin A, vitamin C, E, and they talk about it. You actually see they advertise it's rich in vitamin C, that antioxidant C. Counteracts the free radical effect of anything that you eat. And then you have the phytochemicals in our food. Phytochemicals is the coloring in each natural food, like the fresh fruits and vegetables. Like if you have a garlic, not the coloring per se, but if you have garlic, it has something called allicin, and the allicin is a natural antibiotic, natural antiviral, so it's helping you. You have tomatoes that contain lycopene. Lycopene is known to be an anti-cancer agent. You have things like the cruciferous vegetables, broccoli, your cauliflower, our cabbage, and these are ingredients that actually also are known to be anti-cancer. You have the green leafy veggies that are high in magnesium, They are high in iron, folic acid, and this actually also is vitamins that will actually help in keeping you well. So it's a matter of your system getting what it requires.
Right.
It gets rid of what is not needed if it was provided in the diet, and it boosts your health from the inside, because health starts from what you are, and it starts from the cell.
All right. Amazing. Now, take a look at that once again. Whatever it is we have on the table, forget it. We'll be crossing over to the kitchen to take a look at the alternatives, the foods that will help you. These foods are nutrients, as she mentioned, foods that can help us become stronger and healthier and even build our immune system. So we'll be crossing over with Kibara to take a look at the alternatives. We'll be taking a short break. Don't you go anywhere.